Is a high-end SACD player worth it? This question comes from Bobby in Dublin, California. And Bobby writes to me and he says, "Hey Paul, I love you and I hate you." I thought that was a great line. I've wasted about 10 minutes out of every day watching your damn video. Well, thank you. My digital side of my system is pure computer. I don't even have a transport. And I know that a top quality SACD transport connecting to a really good DAC will outperform DSD file playback. My question is it worth it? We know that money buys happiness in the audiophile world, but still, is it worth a lot of money for a high-end SACD transport comparing to just simply playing DSD files, assuming the same DAC? Well, that really depends on your how cutting edge you are. I'm generally going to say no. So a transport is an optical reader, right? So you have an SACD, and on that are DSD files, and oftentimes, CD files or PCM files. And the optical reader in an SACD drive will read those and output them in the same way that a computer would read them and output them from a file. So in a sense, there's no difference between a file that's stored on a hard drive and a file that's stored on an optical drive. They're the same file. Question is, how do you get it off the medium that it is stored upon? So in a hard drive, you have a whole slew of problems, from jitter. Well, jitter's hard. Files are not stored with clocks attached to them, okay? So clocking information, which is what we are oftentimes concerned with because it's a phenomenon called jitter, which moves the digital signal in time back and forth in a way that creates something you don't want. There is no clock on a file. The clocks are generated in the device that reads the file, okay? So in a hard drive, there's no clock. We read the data off of there, and then a clock matches up and spits out the data in a precise clocked manner. The device that's doing that, the computer or the server or whatever's doing that, the way that's going to sound is all dependent on how that server, that computer, outputs that file, with or without jitter, all sorts of things. So the sound quality has nothing to do with the file itself. It's how it retrieves it and how it outputs it. That's what's important. In an SACD drive, the same thing is true. When we built our first PWT, the Perfect Wave Transport, that was just a terrific, groundbreaking product. And it was groundbreaking because it did something that no other transport had ever really done in the same exact way. And what we had done is we ripped the file off of the optical disc, at the time data discs or CDs, and we stored it all into a memory. Now, people have been storing files in a memory for years, but not in the way that we did it. We stored it for a long time, in fact, 30 seconds worth. That's a long time. So we filled this buffer up, and then as you wanted the data, we could output that data without worry about too fast or too slow speeds as the data comes in. And we could do it with a fixed low jitter, extremely low jitter clock. And that turned out to be the best sounding CDs and data discs at the time, period. Better than any computer, better than any transport, better than any server. That was killer. It was just killer. And it was because of the way we output it, not how we retrieved it. So we're on the verge of making a new SACD transport, and that'll have the same issues, same problems, and likely the same solutions. So again, is it worth it? We have to distinguish a couple of things. one, understanding that it really doesn't matter how the data is stored and retrieved, it's how you output it. So if you had a great server that properly output it, then no, you don't need to, then you're not going to get any better results by going to a SACD transport that similarly does it perfect. But I kind of doubt that's what you have. So you just have to judge which one is going to be more perfect for the output, what you can afford, and what you hope to accomplish. Hope that makes some sense. Okay. Thanks for the question. I'll talk to you tomorrow.